Hello, and welcome to The News, the only news show pretentious enough to call itself The News. I'm, of course, your host, Trent Chadwell, and I'm here joined today with my co-host, Mason Hooker. Mason?
Hello. As my co-host stated, welcome to The News, the only one in town. The only one. I am the one and only, Mason Hooker.
Yes, now, I'm sure as you all at home are aware, the International Ozone Day was last Friday. And here at The News, we care deeply about the ozone, and we've prepared four reports about the ozone that we intend on sharing with you today.
What is the ozone, and how do CFCs affect it, Trent?
From a report by the Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, quote, the stratospheric ozone layer is Earth's sunscreen, protecting living things from too much ultraviolet radiation from the sun, end quote. Without this layer, the Earth would be constantly bombarded with UV radiation. But when you use chemicals like CFCs, that's chlorofluorocarbons for those less scientifically literate, it damages the ozone layer, which in turn lets more UV radiation into the Earth. But with treaties and laws like the Montreal Protocol, it is predicted that ozone will return to a good size somewhere in the mid to late 2060s.
Yeesh, that's long. But at least the ozone layer will be more prepared for future generations.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, we're going to switch it up, and for the next story, Mason's going to give it. Mason?
Of course, we have a federal Clean Air Act for each state. With this act, each state must show their implementation plan, SIP. This plan will identify how they will attain or maintain national ambient air quality standards, NAAQS. Examples of this include evaluating the effectiveness of potential emission control measures, developing air quality attainment strategies, and coordinating Southeastern Michigan air quality technical advisory groups, which provide crucial expertise of science that drives our air qualities.
Ain't that swell? Let her know. We're all going to die, or something like that. As I'm sure you've probably guessed, we're on to a darker part of our broadcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
Spooky!
I know. Time to talk about the scariest thing of all. The international banning of products. Since the Montreal Protocol in '86, the use of CFCs have been on decline globally. In 1994, the distribution of products using CFCs was banned in the United States, and since then we've been searching for a replacement. HCFCs replaced CFCs in the late 90s because HCFCs did less damage to the ozone layer, but it was found out that HCFCs emit a lot more greenhouse gases than CFCs, and even about 20 times more than fossil fuels per unit. Because of this, the U.S. is planning to phase out HCFCs by 2030.
What are we going to use for the refrigerants then?
It is being replaced with chemicals with a better carbon footprint, and those that do less damage to the ozone layer, such as R410A, R407C, and R134A. Any unforeseen consequences from those chemicals have yet to be discovered.
Hopefully, we don't have to find another set of chemicals to replace them in another decade or so.
One would hope. Anywho, now on to our last story tonight. Mason?
Yes, Trent. As ozone contaminants and mixtures with other pollutants, also known as smog, it is currently one of the best well-controlled pollutants in the United States and is also one of the most dangerous.
Phew, that's one flavor of vape I don't want to try. Um,
No, Trent. Just no.
Ignoring that, I just want to thank the folks at home for tuning in to this broadcast, or, well, more likely, being forced to sit through as AM for a participation grade. Any last words, Mason?
Save the trees.
Of course, an unrelated message I can get behind. Thanks for watching, and this is Trent Javel, signing off. Toodles. Up next, two crazy people will run up against a tree. More about that at 13 o'clock.